I'll bite. How did the fishbowl get stuck on your head?
Inside human, you are no match for the power of Mysterio.
Mysterio? I think I had a bowl of Mysterios for breakfast.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man fan. Never gonna change. That being said, let's talk about the Far From Home trailer. Hey y'all, I'm Joe, and I'm back with a quick sum up or review or thoughts or whatever on the Spider-Man Far From Home teaser trailer. Oh boy. Certain people, you know who you are, were asking me to do this again, like I did before with the first trailer for Spider-Man Homecoming about 2 years ago or so, which is crazy to think that it was 2 years ago. And here we are again, same amount of time later, and I'm still wearing the same awesome sweater. Yeah, I know. I'm a nutcase, but
You gotta learn to laugh. It's the way to true love.
so, I've watched this trailer a few times, and I gotta say, I'm pretty excited to see this movie. And I'm sure you all know you've seen Infinity War or Spider-Man Homecoming, but I'll try to keep it as light as I can because I don't want to ruin it for anybody who might possibly not have seen it by now, Infinity War. But just to sum up really quick, Spider-Man, my all-time favorite superhero, Tobey Maguire, the first two Spider-Man movies, awesome movies. The Spider-Man PS4 game, huge surprise. And the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, well, feel free to watch my reviews if you haven't by now. And the Tom Holland Spider-Man, you know what? I think he's a really good fit for the character, especially for this universe in particular. Spider-Man Homecoming, personally, even if it wasn't quite as amazing as some people have claimed, it's a good step back in the right direction, even if there were some problems I had with it. This one, I think, looks even better. Looks a lot more energetic, a little more fun, more colorful, especially with the Mysterio scenes, which there's not too many in this trailer because, you know, being a teaser trailer, you can't show everything. I really like what I'm seeing here so far, and I'm really glad that they don't spoil the ending for Avengers Endgame, which I know some people were worried about, but I'm glad that they didn't ruin it for anybody who was worried about it. Tom Holland still looks really good in the role, and I love the moment where you see Happy kind of flirting with Aunt May, but not really.
What just happened?
And they have the song by the Ramones, just like they did in Spider-Man Homecoming with Blitzkrieg Bop. And then they have this one where it goes, I wanna be sedated, nothing to do, nowhere to go home. I wondered if they were gonna do that again, but oh man, it's gonna be a tradition, I guarantee it. From what I could tell, Peter Parker's on this field trip with his class in Europe, going to places like Italy, Germany, France, and Great Britain. And then he runs into Nick Fury during his field trip, who recruits him to tackle this new supervillain threat that's emerged on the scene. All the while, he's dealing with typical teenage problems, like with dating Michelle Jones, or played by Zendaya, or as she now goes by MJ.
That's not
I'm
right.
messing with you. You look pretty too.
I'm still not 100% certain on her. She was fine in Spider-Man Homecoming, but she was kind of there just to spout out a few funny lines, and I hope that they can give her some legitimate character arc to work with, rather than just be the funny girl who just pops a good one-liner here and there. Flash Thompson, still not entirely convinced on him being a geek, just like Peter Parker, but what I do like is that they are maintaining the core elements of the character, where he's Peter's rival, he respects Spider-Man, and yet at the same time he despises Peter Parker, which obviously those two people being the same person, you can see that sense of irony in there. It's just like in the comics and in various versions of the character. Now, Aunt May knowing that Peter is Spider-Man, I'm not really sure about that, but I'm curious to see how they're going to do that. And I hope that they give Marissa Tomei something legitimate to work with instead of just being the hot-looking mom or whatever. She didn't really have a whole lot to do in Spider-Man Homecoming, and I hope that they give her more to do. And that's the common thing that I'm saying with this video, is that I hope that they give the characters more depth to work with, because it does look really fun. And it does look really exciting, but I hope that they can give the characters more depth to work with. That's all I'm saying. We'll see what happens. And it looks like a lot of fun. And Spider-Man movies, they should be fun. I mean, they should be enjoyable, because Spider-Man's a red and blue character swinging around, punching bad guys. I mean, have a little bit of fun with that. Not to say that they didn't before, but you get what I mean. And this time, instead of Tony Stark helping Spider-Man, we've got Nick Fury as Peter Parker's mentor.
So nice to finally meet you, Spider-Man.
You're Nick Fury.
Then it feeds into the supervillain threat that's emerged in the form of Mysterio. And I have been wanting to see Mysterio in a Spider-Man movie for quite some time. And as I showed earlier with the clip from the Spider-Man 2 video game, that was one of my favorite versions of the character of Mysterio in any iteration of Spider-Man. Then we had the Spider-Man video game from the year 2000.
If only you'd taken that giant act to Vegas instead.
Curse your endless babble, Spider-Man!
And the 90s Spider-Man show.
Payback? For what? You did it all to yourself.
Yes, that's what my psychiatrist said. But you know what? His sessions never made me feel this good.
And Jake Gyllenhaal's gonna play Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio. I kinda like that idea, and I'm curious to see how he's gonna play the character, because Jake Gyllenhaal has been in plenty of movies before where it has like a really dark tone and playing characters that are kind of odd and oddball and a little bit disturbed darkly in some way. I'm not sure if that's the way they're gonna go with Quentin Beck, but the fact that he's playing a villain, I like that idea, because Mysterio is a little weird, and Marvel's been known to embrace the weirdness in so many ways. So I can definitely see them embracing the campiness with Mysterio. And at least from what I can tell so far, it looks like they're doing just that. And at first, I don't want to sound too superficial or anything, but when they first show Mysterio without his helmet on, at first I thought, are you kidding me? They're gonna have him like that the entire time because it looks cooler and doesn't look too cheesy? I thought, oh god, please don't do that. But then it shows him fighting off that mummy looking thing. I have no idea what's going on with that. Maybe it's Hydra Man, as I've heard some people speculate about. But then you see him with his infamous globe, the fishbowl head, as Spider-Man calls him in various incarnations. And when I saw that, I went, yes! Yes! Again, I don't want to sound superficial or anything, and not that that stuff really matters, and I hope that the character is written well, but I'm glad that they are keeping his look intact. They're not going to have him be without his helmet entirely. And probably my favorite image in this whole trailer is when you see Spider-Man swinging above Park Avenue in front of Grand Central Station. I just love that type of imagery with Spider-Man. Him swinging above the streets of Manhattan. Something that harkens back to the Tobey Maguire days. And, oh god, it's just classic Spider-Man imagery. I love it. And you know, I could nitpick about it, I could complain about certain things, but you know what? I cannot wait to see this. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with this character, and I don't know how else to say it, but let's hope that it goes well, and I think it might be a really good movie. So what are your thoughts on the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer? Comment below and tell me what your thoughts are. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time.